You might remember there was a ticket debacle, and that started a whole wave of pressure on companies like Ticketmaster. And while legislators were publicly railing against the live event ticketing industry, new analysis has found that many California lawmakers were privately taking thousands of dollars worth of free event tickets. Politico reviewed the financial disclosures of all 120 lawmakers in California and found that 66 of them were given over $30,000 worth of free tickets. The giveaways included entrance to Disneyland with mouse ears included, a music festival pass to see country music stars like Eric Church, and San Francisco 49ers seats. One of the biggest recipients of tickets to college sporting events also chairs the Higher Education Committee. The Taylor Swift Eras Tour ticket fiasco in 2022 led many lawmakers nationwide to call for a crackdown on Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation. But behind the scenes, the gifts came the same year. Some lawmakers mounted bids to loosen the power of the ticketing giant Ticketmaster, and other elected officials sought to limit third-party resellers like StubHub. Some of the gifts lawmakers accepted in 2023 came from interest groups that had a stake in such legislation. And some lawmakers who received the tickets led new regulation efforts this year. That includes Assemblymember Buffy Wicks, an Oakland Democrat, who introduced a bill this past April banning exclusive contracts between sellers and venues, hoping to deflate the power of Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation. That bill, which was backed by consumer groups and third-party resellers like StubHub, was ultimately held in Wicks's own committee after she accepted extensive amendments. Now, government ethics experts warn that event tickets are much more effective tools for influencing lawmakers than campaign contributions. Daniel Schnorr, former chair of the Fair Political Practices Commission, said, "If I send money to a legislator's campaign account, I get a thank you note. If I attend a reception, I get a handshake. If I take them out to lunch or dinner, I get a conversation. But if I get them tickets for a concert or a basketball game, I now have a friend who takes my phone calls." And you can see that dynamic play out in the California Assembly. One Assembly member, Democrat Rebecca Bauer-Kahan from the San Francisco Bay Area, played a key role in the legislation's trajectory, talking about Wicks's bill. Her committee, Privacy and Consumer Protection, changed Wicks's bill so drastically that some of the original advocate groups withdrew their support. Records show that Bauer-Kahan accepted concert tickets from the San Francisco 49ers in July 2023. On the same day, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour came to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Bauer-Kahan's office would not confirm or deny whether the tickets were for Swift's concert, but no other events were planned for that day. And of course, the 49ers organization was one of the groups opposing the bill, Politico reports. Now, that's a lot of connecting the dots.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
But Francesca, to me, even with that, it seems pretty transparent what they're doing here.
Oh man, it's so easy to buy liberals, California liberals. All you want is to see your precious Hollywood celebrities. What about Scott Baio? He's great. Kid Rock, Vanilla Ice. Like this is so sad. And honestly, it really is sad for Democrats in California that they can be bought and sold for an effing Taylor Swift ticket, a 49ers ticket. This is really disgusting. And it actually does matter, especially for a state like California, where there are so many performers, there's so many artists, right? And I do know for a fact that specifically Live Nation's stranglehold on concert venues and other venues. I'm a stand-up comic. When a comedian comes to a Live Nation venue, they are prohibited from doing any other shows in the same city that is not a Live Nation venue. Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. You have, again, a monopoly on that person's, their performance. You have a monopoly. If they do a show at someone's house, right? You cannot do that. That's illegal. They can sue you. A stand-up comedian can be sued. An artist can be sued. A musician can be sued, and on down the line. It's just, look, I'm reminded this week because Tim Walz is being heralded for overseeing a very slim majority in the Minnesota state legislature and how incredible and all the things he got done. Well, here in California, we've been had like a Democratic leadership and legislature. And we do not have a progressive wish list that has come to fruition in this country, in this state, excuse me. It should be a country, let's break off. But like, because of money, because these cowards can be so easily bought, and not all of them. There's some good assembly members, there's tons of them. But it's also, it goes beyond Ticketmaster, Jordan, and I'll shut up after this. It also is the fossil fuel industry. You'd be so surprised how much California liberals in the state legislature receive from the fossil fuel industry, because of course they do. And tech billionaires, don't get me started, they absolutely take that money. So I'm worried for this state. I'm actually a little bit worried for how it bodes, considering that Kamala Harris is from this state as well.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we have seen progress from the DOJ with the antitrust investigation into Live Nation and Ticketmaster. So it wouldn't be a state by state response to this problem. And on that problem though, outside of the radius clauses, let's say you're a band and you go to a Live Nation venue, which is a vast majority of venues across the country, and they expanded their control over that scene in COVID when all of the independent venues were shutting down because that was their lifeblood. So it's not just that you can't perform in that outside of that radius. They serve as the promoter. They take a merch cut. I mean, they've temporarily paused. We don't know if that's gonna be permanent, but up until last year, because of pressure, they were taking merch sales, which is like the only way that artists can make money.
I had no idea.
So you're not getting anything on Spotify. You're making next to nothing on Spotify if you're a musician or any artist on there, right? You're getting a fraction of a penny per play. And then your ticket sales, it's mostly them. You're barely getting anything. They charge you all of these ridiculous fees for security, for stuff in-house, stuff that they already have there. They're just nickel and diming you. Yeah. The only way you can make money is with merchandise sales. And they were taking a cut, sometimes 30, 40, 50% of the shirts, hoodies, whatever, you manufactured, you designed, you transport, you load in, you load out. They want that money because you're selling it in that venue. That is how deep their monopoly goes. And it's killing artists, not literally, but it's killing bands, it's killing artists. And the musicians that you love and you want to see, it's becoming increasingly harder for them to do that because they can only tour. And the way they can make money to sustain their operation is being just siphoned by companies like Live Nation and Ticketmaster.
Yeah, and even Taylor Swift and Swifties didn't have a lot of power in the face of all that, right? They are locked in because of the venues. Of course, Levi's Stadium, where 49ers play, is going to be pro Ticketmaster and against any kind of legislation, right? Because they're getting hand over fist money on that. They don't care. They are shunting all of the burden to the consumer, all of it, absolutely all of it. And so it's just wild. Like, I mean, and also Jordan, like people don't have money. Like again, like you talk about people save their money maybe if they're lucky enough to spend what my God, like $2,000 to see Taylor Swift. But like generally everyone's being squeezed. People don't have extra money to spend. So artists who are not Taylor Swift are struggling right now. It is a really hard time in entertainment, in live entertainment across the board. And again, monopolies like Ticketmaster don't make it help. And politicians who can be bought off with a pair of tickets, which is just so funny that that goes farther than donating to their campaign. We're so sad as a species.
And especially if you're like the assembly member who is leading the effort. Like you took the stand, like, oh, I'm gonna crack down on Ticketmaster. Wait, you say Taylor Swift's coming to town? Never mind. All good, nothing to see here. Just like have some respect for yourself. That seems like such a low bar. Like, I don't know, how much are these tickets? I know they're pricey and especially secondhand, but it seems like you're selling your dignity for something pretty cheap. I don't know.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.